You know, it's been so long, and I just realized I look awful. Like, look at me. You can practically see my bones. I mean, and like my face. I mean, you can't even tell if I'm happy or sad or mad. I really should be taking better care of myself. Screw it. it it's been long enough. I am getting a makeover. Well, this is much better. I feel like a whole new nerd now. It's not perfect, but nothing truly is. Still, this should get me back on track. Hello everyone, Paleo Nerd is back after, yeah, it's been a while. And I've been doing a really shitty job motivating myself to finish the video I said would be next. So here's a shorter one that should be easier for me to edit. And it's the start of a whole new series. Welcome to Paleo Misconceptions, a new series where I take the time to debunk common misconceptions about prehistoric life. Terror birds aren't the most popular animals when it comes to most people not overly familiar with paleontology, but for those that do know about them, they either tend to think terror birds are only one species and not a whole family, or the only ones they can list are Titanus, Gastornis, and maybe Forus raucus. But wait, what's with that second one? Gastornis is a terror bird? Well, if you search terror bird on Google Images, you really don't need to scroll down too far before you come across pictures of Gastornis, and some YouTube videos also list or depict Gastornis as part of the terror bird group. But is this actually true? Well, if you've looked at the title already, then you should know that the answer to that question is no. Let me explain. For those unfamiliar, Gastornis is an extinct genus of giant flightless birds which lived from the late Paleocene to the mid-Eocene of the Cenozoic, about 56 to 45 million years ago. It is believed to contain around 7 distinct species known primarily from Europe, but it is also found in North America and China. These species range in size, but the largest of them, the North American species Gastornis gigantea, has been estimated to reach a height of about 2 meters or 6.5 feet tall and weighing around 150 to 250 kilograms or 330 to 550 pounds. Due to its large stature and giant beak, Gastornis was traditionally looked at as a formidable predator of early mammals and an apex predator, but ever since it was first discovered, many paleontologists have argued that the lack of a hooked beak or sharp talons, indicated by footprints believed to belong to the animal, prove that this bird was actually an herbivore. It wouldn't be until the 2010s that calcium isotope studies proved once and for all that Gastornis was indeed an herbivore, with no evidence whatsoever that it included meat in its diet. In terms of its taxonomic placement, Gastornis is the type genus of the order Gastornithiformes, which it shares with the Australian Mihirungs of Dromornithidae. This order is in turn part of the larger clade Ansaromorphae, of which the only extant lineage is the order Anseriformes, which includes screamers and waterfowl like geese, ducks, and swans. So what are terror birds and why isn't Gastornis one? When people say terror bird, they tend to be referring to an extinct group of flightless birds within the family Forus raucidae. This group existed for a large portion of the Cenozoic era, from the Paleocene to the early Pleistocene, about 62 to 1.8 million years ago. Early forest rockids are found in South America, Europe, and Africa, suggesting that this group was once widespread during the early Cenozoic, but from the Oligocene to the Pliocene they were exclusive to South America until it connected with North America during the late Pliocene. Forest rockids came in a variety of shapes and sizes, but the largest among them, like Kalenkin and Brontornis, could reach heights of 2 to 3 meters or 6.5 to 10 feet tall and weigh up to 400 kilograms or 880 pounds. As far as we know, forest rockids were exclusively carnivores, as they do possess hooked beaks and sharp talons, with the larger ones reigning at the top of the food chain in their ecosystems. In terms of classification, forest rockids are considered part of the order Caryomyformes, of which the only extant members are the red-legged and black-legged Seriemas, carnivorous birds from South America that could reach up to 80 centimeters or 2.5 feet tall. Caryomyformes were originally thought to be part of the order Gruiformes, which includes cranes and rails, but genetic evidence supports a placement in the clade Australaves, which includes falcons, parrots, and passerines. Now that we've established the groups which Gastornis and forest rockids belong to, you really just have to look at a phylogenetic tree of modern bird groups to get why Gastornis is not a terror bird, since Anseromorphae is far more basal than Australaves, and the two groups are basically on opposite ends of the bird family tree. So why do people think that Gastornis is a terror bird? Well, for most people, they just don't know better, which can't really be held against them, since paleontology as a whole is often poorly understood by public masses. There's also the fact that Gastornis is often falsely believed to be a predator, which often leads it to be grouped with other giant flightless predatory birds, which it vaguely resembles. So, like most misconceptions about anything really, the best way to get rid of this misconception is by educating people about the truth. That's all for today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And if there's a common misconception about prehistoric life that you would like me to cover in this new series, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Up next should be the scientific analysis of Monsters Resurrected, Episode 1, Terror Bird, followed by the natural history of forest rockids. Thank you so much for your patience, and until next time, this is Paleo Nerd, signing out.